Yo, crypto nation and mining family, what is going on here? Oh, I gotta wait for everybody to get up on here now. It's been a minute since I streamed. I can't imagine everybody's like, who's this guy going live? Anybody, is this thing even live? Hello, people.
It's a wrong time of the day on Sunday.
I know. But as they say, if you build it, they will come, right? Oh, we got somebody. We got somebody on here. Yo, we got automatic beats up in the house. Yo, ha. What's going on, my dude? Ha. Hopefully, you are having a wonderful evening, my man. It's like, good evening. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All the way from Missouri. All the way out in Hannibal, Missouri. So, really funny that you say that, automatic. Man, bro, you can't even make this shit up. You can't. I know I'm already blowing my monetization by swearing right off the bat, but man, he just automatic beats, babe. Because I'm here with Mrs. Nemesis, yo, or Rianne. He just said boots and cats and boots and cats. So, funny story, right? So, I'm wearing boots, and a random cat came to me while I was sitting out back and was petting. I was like demanding me to pet him or her, and then came into the Airbnb with us and was hanging out here for a good half hour. Like random cat, dude. And I'm wearing boots, so it's a boots and cats type of day, bro. Oh man, why are you reconnecting? Let's make sure. Like straight. Hold on one second. I'm like trying to connect in with some better internet here. Voila. That shouldn't happen again. I just watched like the stream kind of reconnecting because I was using mobile data instead of being connected in. Uh, view message. What's up, Big Rome? What's up, my dude? Man, I'm sore from working out the other day. I brought some workout equipment to the Airbnb with me, so as soon as I'm not feeling so sore, I'm gonna like work out. Hopefully it'll be tomorrow. It's like feeling a little bit better than it did like this morning. Like my triceps are on fire still kind of a little bit. Serves me right for like taking some time off, right? It's like, ugh, getting old sucks. It's like we back. Nice. All right, so I don't think it's like I know if you guys haven't checked him out, Crypto Nefe, he's got his own YouTube channel. I know he hasn't done anything for a little while. Uh, he was the first guy that I ever knew that mined on the go, right? So he videoed himself mining in a hotel room with one rig. And then there's another buddy of mine, uh, Nefarious Technology. He's also got a YouTube channel too. I don't think he's done it. He's been so swamped with work, with his mundane life, he hasn't been able to pay attention to the crypto world. He was the second person that I knew that was mining in a hotel, and he mined so hard that he popped the breakers in the said hotel room, which was hilarious, guys. I was like, you're the only person I've ever known that actually tripped a circuit breaker in a hotel room. Take a pic of cat, post on are not my cat, profit. Oh, that's too funny. No, it was somebody local. Like it had tags on it and a phone number and and an address. And the address was like just one block over. So I wouldn't say it's too absolutely random for the neighborhood. Just random cat decided to come up to me and go, "Hey, pet me," and then hung out with us for like 30 minutes, running through the Airbnb here. And,
Invited himself
and invited herself in. My wife opened up the door, and as soon as she opened up the door, whoop! That little furry little kitten came flying in. But I let her back out. She's gone. It's all good. It's all good. We were like we're pretty much in the boonies for being in a town. So that's perfect. NMC. Lots of Airbnb posts there. uh, but yeah. So getting back into it, it's like being in an Airbnb. I've known people that have mined in hotel rooms. Let it be known that I am the first one to mine in an Airbnb, guys. So I don't know what the like. I know I'm in an older home, so like I don't know what the condition of the household wiring is. So knowing that, I was being really nice about what I was bringing with me. Otherwise, there are many 110 outlets in this place. Yeah, I see no reason why I shouldn't be able to, plug more equipment in. I'm just saying. But this is an older home. And with that being said, I don't know what standard of wiring is actually in the wall. So I don't want to push the amperage through the old wiring that had the cloth wrap around it. Those were known to cause fires, and I'm not trying to burn down a nice building.
These are plaster walls. That's how old.
Yeah, these are plaster walls, guys. I mean, here, let me show you. This is what you are usually seeing. You see how you get all these imperfections all throughout it? That's your plaster in here. So these walls are kind of on the older side.
And then the transom above the back door.
Oh yeah, and then there's like a transom above the back door, which if you guys don't know what that is, that's how people way back in the day would get a little airflow through the house and cool the place down. So yeah, so that up there above the door, that's a transom. So you would open up this back in the day before there was AC, and this is how you would cool down the place. It's a pretty basic little place here. Even come equipped with a washer and dryer. So, baller. So if you're like out here and going off-roading and stuff, you'd be able to wash your gear every day. No dishwasher, but who cares? It's like I'm not spoiled enough that I can't hand wash something, which that's what we'll be doing either a little bit later on here or first thing in the morning. This is the place that we have here that we've rented out. Thankful. It's the Wi-Fi. Say hello. She hates being on camera. She's a little camera shy.
I'm in my freaking pajama pants, damn it.
At least you're not naked.
I appreciate that.
I'm just saying. I mean, we pick our battles, right? Oh, too funny, too funny. So.
Oh yeah, did they hear about the chickens?
Oh, I haven't given you guys an update on the Chunkins. So if you guys are here for the Chunkins at all, we got our first 2 eggs, guys. Yo, 2 eggs so far. I don't know if we've gotten any more. and they're about a month earlier than we were expecting them. So, and they were so cute, so tiny. Uh, all good. It's all good. We have nice nutritionally dense eggs starting to be produced. So I'll give you guys an update on that one. Uh, Garden's almost getting ready in sections to be able to harvest some of that stuff. Uh, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Big rooms like that's decent. Hells yeah. Um, so, and then for what I was out here for is that homesteading conference, guys. Man, there's a lot of good little knowledge being dropped out there, man. Totally worth coming out to. If you guys are like thinking about doing some like homesteading, definitely get around to doing some of the conferences for homesteading. Talk to the people that are doing this stuff, living it. Make sure it's a route that you guys want to go down because it's like, yeah, you're giving up some things for the simpler life. It's not the easy life, it's just simpler. Uh, you're not dealing with garbage, you're growing your own food. And that's some of the direction that me and the wife are trying to go down. Not stop mining, though.
They just found a couple in Colorado that they could just go live without being prepared, and they found their bodies like 5 years, 10 years later.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. People die trying to do this stuff, especially if you pick the wrong area. Colorado is very unforgiving. As soon as the snow locks you in, you're done. If you're not prepared and you're like, oh, I can just do this anytime, no problem. Yeah, no, no. So it's best to get, if you're going to do any of the stuff as we're teaching crypto, do your research, guys. Don't just be like, oh, I can go live anywhere. I can grow some potatoes. That's easy. No. Like, learn how to grow the potatoes for sure. But, like, you're still going to have to learn how to, like, think of it this way. It's like you buy a piece of property, you can get it in certain areas for cheap. You got to make sure the soil's even good enough to grow your own food. Some soil's garbage. If you got like sandy soil, yeah, good luck. You're gonna put some like compost in there first rainstorm, and it all gone. So it's like you got to pick where you're gonna be going if you're trying to live off the land. And then if you buy some just raw land and you build a house on it, cool. You're all good. Try hooking up some electricity to said house. That's anywhere between $40,000 and $60,000, depending on how far away from the road you are, where you're at. All these things kind of add up, and then they own the property that they drop the poles on to give you power, but you still have to maintain the land. Yeah, but they own it now. It's the easement. So it's like you guys you have to do your research on there, make sure it's, you're not, how can I put it, like just jumping into it and going, I'm going to get electricity, I'm going to have running water. No, you might have to figure out, hey, I have no electricity. Where's my water coming from? Do you have a river on your property? Do you have a pond on your property? Where's your water coming from? You got to think about all these things. You got a building on your property, you're catching that water and using it for yourself. How are you filtering it all? All that stuff is things that you have to think about when you're coming off grid. It's the things you took for granted because it's just always there. You rent an apartment, it always has running water, right? That's normal. It always has heat. That's normal. And when it breaks down, your landlord pays for it. I know it's not that simple. It's a lot of hard work, but it's honest. It becomes a full-time job in itself. But if you can get it to where you're debt-free, that's where it really comes in, or comes in really good that way. Because when you're hitting it from the debt-free aspect, the way that me and the wife are, like our house, we don't owe that much left on it. And we don't have crazy out of control debt. So it makes things a lot easier if you can sit there and easily get your debt down before you try to even make this jump too. You know, it's like if you're going to sit there and live that simple life, you got to break off from society in their debt structure. You're not like breaking away from society because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to deal with people ever again. People suck. It's not that. It's just that I'm breaking away from the confines of their slavery system. Fuck that shit, right? I mean, that's why we're all here in crypto. We're trying to get out of the slavery system and have a freer money. That's where Bitcoin comes in. It's like that's why we need Bitcoin to hit the $1 million. Well, I would actually like to see one Satoshi equal $1. In order for that to happen, you're looking at a $10 million Bitcoin. Put that in like, you know, in factual numbers. One Satoshi per dollar. That's what I want to see. That's when you know that the US dollar has collapsed. That is when you know that you are screwed. And you're not going to realize it until it's like too late for a lot of people. Now you guys already know. It's like that would be amazing. Nah, that was a dual-edged sword. As much as I would like to see the collapse of the US dollar, right? At the same time, I would hate to see, how can I put it? Like, because in order for the US dollar to really collapse, that's going to hit the economy. And that kind of a inward collapse, that's going to kill people. If not, we're going to be in the middle of a civil war.
Which is gonna kill people.
Which is good, yeah, like the wife saying, that's going to kill people too. I mean, we're indebting ourselves so bad right now because we're funding war, and we're leaving the U.S. with the only way to stop this government is going to be a civil war or a national divorce. I've heard people talking both directions. We'll have to see how that one works. Sad but true. Totally big room. Totally. Uh, and you know, throughout all of this, all of these issues, you know who hasn't had any real problems with anything? The Amish. Living that simple life, right? So, I mean, this conference that I'm at, basically, it's just giving them good knowledge. You know, it's like home remedies, teaching you how to look for certain herbs and stuff like that. You know, it was kind of the herbal walk was kind of interesting. Did some home security. That one I'm a huge proponent of. I like that one because it was basically sitting there chit-chatting with an ex-Marine over home security at the homestead. So you're gonna see, like, if you have a lot of property, you can sit there and take down trees, especially if they're like pine trees that have fallen over, and just lay them on their side and push them up out right onto your property line. Some people are like, oh my God, you can't clean up your property. Look at all those dead trees. And then you're looking at it going, let's say you climb through that. You're not going to be able to make it halfway through without skewering yourself in some way, shape, or form. It might suck enough that you might not want to go through it. That's actually kind of a cool little concept. Sitting there and, you know, having, of course, dogs. That's always a good one. Having perimeter fencing around, you know, maybe having an inner fence with some barbed wire on there that's like loosely on there. And having cameras you can have around where they've got microphones attached to it, and you could just sit there and just psychologically catch them and be like, I see you and I'm coming after you now, type of deal, and be like, as you say that, you can even try to cock a shotgun with you. That would be pretty interesting. I mean, the guy just gave out some pretty good home defense stuff. He's an instructor too for personal defense and for different kind of weapons types because ex-Marine, something that he can certainly teach. Uh, that was pretty cool. And then there was another guy who was talking about predator proofing. That one's interesting. And everybody's sitting here trying to ask him, well, I've been trying to trap forever. How do you trap them? And it's like it takes depending on your predator, you got to make sure you have to know how those predators walk around before you try to make any kind of a trap. It's like, and one thing you want to know is how do they move? What's their movements like? Because you want to make a trap that's going to be set with inside of their motions. So, and also, are you doing a trap that's going to snare them, or are you trying to live trap them? That's also two different styles of how you're going to trap stuff. And I mean, I've done skunk and raccoons. And all you got to do is just put some bait near where they're coming and going. And eventually you're going to catch one within a day. Even possums are just as easy. I've caught a lot of possums, skunks, and raccoons. And I've live trapped them all and then moved them about 5 miles away. Just way I know that they're alive. I didn't kill them. And I put them into a national park. So it's like they're realistically, I gave them a better home away from people. So at least I didn't truly make it somebody else's problem. So kudos, right. It's like I learned a lot about that in the hood. It's like, what conference am I at? It is the Homestead Life Conference, hosted by Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, in Hannibal, Missouri. Great times, basically. A lot of information about people living off grid, and it's like there's different variations of off grid. There's people who live like the Amish, and then there's people who they live like, they still have running water, electricity, all that other stuff. They have most of the amenities still, but they are producing all of their own food on their property, or at least the majority of. So it's just like talking to a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge and different tips and tricks. And, you're trying to avoid as many pitfalls as you can before you get involved in that direction. Because, like, I would love to get off grid and set up like solar panels to be able to sit there and continue to mine off grid totally for free. I would love to be able to generate enough free power to sit there and have that sweet Bizity Bitcoin on the cheap. Mine sun up to sundown. Be pretty cool. So I mean, it's been I mean, today was the first day of the conference. So I mean, let's see here. What all did I go through? I'll tone down this light for you. So it's not like blinding her. Ooh. So, watched a meat rabbit get skinned and butchered. That was interesting. It's like exactly. that's some of the reasons why I'm wanting to do this too. It's like to get away. It's not the cool people, just the crazy people. It's like one of my favorite dudes is a furry dude called the Amish furry dudes. Oh my gosh. Uh, but let's see here. Found out that the so-called meat rabbits that are actually here in America are actually every one of them are from Europe. So they are European bred rabbits that have been, and they can't breed with the local cottontail or the hair, the long hair. They are rabbits, but they're not the same species. It's like the Amish love me because we rock the same beard style. Oh, too funny. That is awesome. um, but so I mean, like you have the California rabbit, the American, the chinchilla, the New Zealand silver fox, and these are like they're pretty docile and very good for their meat production. Uh, and then whenever the Cornish cross hens were actually being produced, that's when there was the big race. So, funny story with that is because the Cornish cross hens, have to retry. Because the Cornish cross hens take about between 7 to 10 weeks. Rabbits are 12 to 14 weeks before they're ready. So because chickens were the Cornish cross hens got to market first is the reason why we have Kentucky Fried Chicken. Where is this conference? Hannibal, Missouri. So it was like about a 4.5 hour-ish drive from my house to here. So um I know he's the most luckiest person ever. Techman's like got a horseshoe that he doesn't share with anyone else. He knows how to gamify life. It's awesome. I wish he would share that with me, but he's stingy. We love you still. What up, Patrick? Yo, evening from Kentucky. Nice. He's like, I'm not stingy. I share. I want the golden horseshoe. What up, Sadie? Yo, surprise live stream for the win. Yeah. 100%. And I'm mining in an Airbnb. I'm the first one that I know of. I don't know anybody else that's mining an Airbnb yet. Not that I know. If it happened, it's not to my knowledge. Let's see here. I mean, probably means the conceal the winnings that you always that anytime there's a somebody doing a giveaway, as soon as you put your name in there, it's like you're the winner. It's like you won at least one of the prizes. Congratulations, still. So rabbits are actually pretty decent, but they're not going to give you all the nutritional benefits to fully like the rabbits that are from the U.S. So like if people look at the Lewis and Clark expedition and they're like they died though from eating rabbits, they were eating the local rabbit here, and they don't have any real meat fat content to them. So it's too lean of meat, and that's why they had issues. The ones that are from Europe have a higher fat content to them, so you can actually survive on the European rabbits. So much red meat, right, Kyle? So, and rabbit meat's actually good to even have them up all the way to 1 year. After that, they become more of a stew rabbits. So unlike chickens, where you let chickens go too far and the meat's just trash, you lose all your juiciness and everything like that. Let's see here. Then there was about the homestead defense. Definitely want to have gates on your property. Why would you want to have a gate and a fence on your property? Because it basically defines your property. Where does it begin? Where do people start trespassing? And where is your eminent domain? You want to make sure that you know where your exact property lines are, and you have the signage out that also states, "Hey, look, I'm not. You don't want to trespass here. I don't accept trespassing. If you're not invited, you are trespassing." Like, does anybody know what color to paint to put paint down on like a tree or something like that if you wanted to signify that they have a trust? Oh, Techman comes out with the win on that one. Nice, you are correct. It is purple. Purple is the color that it signifies that you're trespassing. So, bam. Little bit of knowledge. It's like, I know my rights. Yes, you do, Tech Man. Yes, you do. See here, Patrick. Europe always has better food. Depends. It doesn't mean that they always have better food. A lot of the food that they grow in Europe actually grew better here in the United States. And take, for instance, like elderberry, right? If you eat European elderberry, you've got to boil them first, just a little bit, to get rid of the cyanide. So, but there is an American variety that you don't have to worry about the cyanide content. It's like so low and minute that you would have to eat a lot of it to have any kind of issue. Which means that the American elderberry you can actually eat right off the plant and not have to worry about getting sick from it. And if you guys think that cyanide is like horrible, if you eat apples at all, there's cyanide in the apple seeds. So with knowing that there's cyanide in the apple seeds themselves, you would have to eat thousands of them to get to have any kind of an effect from it. So there is foods that are local that still contain trace amounts of cyanide in it. You just don't want the large doses of it, which would be the European. There's 2 European varieties of elderberry that do have a higher elevated cyanide content that you would want to boil it off. Now, what is cyanide? What is not cyanide? What is elderberry good for? Is that it's got it's good for like immunities. So very good for immune boosting, all that good stuff. Good for like chickens and stuff. So very cool. Uh, don't steal from me. You might get the bad bottle. uh, but it's like then you come into other forms of like home defense. It's like don't be afraid of pew pews if you want to sit there and get into home defense. If you guys are worried about it, get trained on it. If you are serious about home defense, and there's a reason why they will issue hollow points. Why hollow points? It's gonna hit something. It's gonna basically open up and slow down. You don't have to worry about a hollow point going into your neighbor's house. Ball armor or ball rounds, you have to worry about going into your neighbor's house. So best to know what's on the other side of your target, or if you miss. So be careful with your ammo type, but I would recommend people just get the hollow points, and you get your better home defense. Cameras and stuff, if you guys go down that route, there's cheap routes and expensive routes. Cheap routes would be like your game cameras. You just got to remember, either you have to have the solar power for it, or you're changing batteries out on it. Tactics equal firepower. Yep, and always have a plan, guys. Always have a plan. If you're in a kind of a dumpier area and you know it, you can go even further. You can get a metal screen door, put in like 6-inch bolts through the door jamb, and yeah, you ain't breaking that door in. So I mean, there are easy home defense, because like, remember guys, the front door is probably the first breakage of inner on your home. The next thing would be like windows and stuff. So like plant thorny bushes or rose bushes below windows, put laminates over them, all that stuff. And then if you're really worried about it, I mean, there's people that are securing their power, so people can't just come onto your property, cut power to you, and leave you in the dark. That would kind of suck. If that were to happen, you're being targeted a little bit more. And then it was like a cool little nature walk of what was around here. After that, it's like I got 50 pit bulls. Good God. And I bet you there's like 3 or 4 of them that will get the burglar a beer, and the rest will kill him as he grabs it, right? It's like, those 3 guys, they got the decoy. Let him try handing him the beer. When he gets it, we get him, boys. It's like I'd drive a truck through it. Steel plates on the side windows, doors. Yeah, steel plates on that. Laminate, so that the same laminate you would use on your front, for that they use on the front windshield of a car, so that if it breaks, it just goes and just spiders out. Nothing else happens, and you're like, oh. And if they actually make it into the house, from what a lot of people say, it's like, they're like, oh, be really quiet, move around. Be like, no, I'm gonna make a whole lot of noise, and be like, I know you're here, and I'm coming for you. That's pretty much just going to be enough, because like, if I know about where he's standing, I know my walls in my house. I know where to shoot and where not to. So I would love to see somebody like illegally breach my home. It will be the last thing they do. They will have a very bad day. That will end very bad for them. But after that, we went on a little went more casual because there really wasn't too much else going on for that time period. So I went on a nature walk with some people. They were sitting there talking about different kind of plants that were sitting all around, like wild mint, tree, wild mint for like respiratory, like upper respiratory stuff, ailments. The tree of heaven for gastrointestinal, and at some point in time, she made the person who was like doing the walk. She made a point to sit there and say that the tree of heaven was also used for vaginal disease too. I was like, okay. I didn't even know what to say about that. I was like, that's a strange fact. um, and then there was Virginia creeper. It's like it's not poisonous. Some people can have had reactions to them, so I guess there is some medicinal uses for them, but I'm not gonna try it because it is a vine of a it's a creeping vine, and a lot of those people have a lot of issues. Like, and I don't want to see if I'm going to have one of those issues or not. Not my thing. What else was there? Like the cedar tree bush wards off bugs, good for viral and fungal, good for bug bites. Pretty cool. It's like you can't type. It's like you should ask how the badge is medically applied. Oh my god. I, I was just like in shock that was something that was even spoken about. I was like, oh okay. uh spotted spurge for like good for like stomach ailments and stuff. Uh, let's see here. Choke cherry, good for like respiratory issues and stuff. Pine needle, there's also pine needle teas and stuff like that is actually supposed to be pretty good. But be careful on the type of pine. If you do not understand the pine that you're looking at, uh, don't be trying to be making teas out of it. There is some that if you ingest enough of it, it will kill you. Uh, so be very careful of that. But if you get the style that is good for you, it is good for immune boost and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. Let's see here. Dandelion is good for like anti-cancer. I did not know that. Uh, Purslane is like high in vitamin C, or high in vitamins, period. Plantain is actually really high in vitamin C. Uh, then after that, it was like some like easy home remedies and stuff like that, using like raw apple cider vinegar that's not pasteurized, utilizing that to make ferments and stuff like that. The ferments will actually keep all the good enzymes and stuff like that, and what you're trying to preserve there can be used for like medicinal uses for like immunity, or actually like antihistamine, like almost like taking an antibiotic, but it's more natural. So you're not like super concentrating that antibiotic. Non-penicillin antibiotics. This is more naturally found in nature that most people don't have much issues with. Again, I'm no doctor or anything like that. I'm not telling people what to do anything. Do your own research. Activated charcoal. If you're eating something bad and you got food poisoning and you need your stomach, activated charcoal is what your doctor's going to give you to make you to try to absorb it and like encourage you to vomit. um, Onion peels, like the skin of the onions, are good for like immunity and stuff like that. It's like good knowledge like this stuff. I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that. Oh wow, it's like, and if you're gonna be homesteading, guys, and you're like further away from civilization, you're also further away from any kind of medical treatments if anything were to happen. So you need to sit there and know, oh, I got a bug bite. Let me grab some bentonite clay. Make a bentonite paste with it and try to draw out some of that stuff. Knowing that you can use a potato to help draw out some of the inflammation and some of the like infections that you may have from an inflamed area. Um, cool stuff like that. And utilizing like stuff like Soleil, which is basically unrefined salt, almost like for instance, no shill or anything like that. This is like what they were sitting there talking about, utilizing Redmond salt. Because it's got all the minerals and potassium, everything's still there. It's unrefined as they dug it out, right? And use that with a little bit of water, and that helps replenish some of the salts and the minerals that your body needs to function. Because as you guys sweat a lot, you're losing a lot of these good, good nutritions also. And you need to remember to replenish a lot of that stuff too. Okay, I think that was everything that I had today, and there'll be next one will be tomorrow, guys, and I'll definitely give it like a little recap on that one too. It's like so awesome learning the ways of the elders. I know, right? It's like something that totally forgotten, totally foreign to so many people. Knowing that you can live off the land and you don't need doctors. And unless you've got something medically wrong with you already, most people don't need to worry about seeing a doctor as long as you've got the right nutritions going into you. Your body's going to is going to respond going, oh my God, I'm eating properly. People have become unhealthy over the years because they're eating highly processed foods. And if you keep on sitting there and eating these highly processed foods, it doesn't matter how much crypto you guys sit there, trade, earn, mine. If by the time you get to a point where you're ready to use it, your body's too broken, beat up, and it's dependent on the industrial medical complex in order to survive. You're already past the precipice. So it's best to sit there and not only DCA into your financial future, into your nest egg, DCA into your health too, guys. DCA into your knowledge. It's all about that good stuff. Of course, Patrick. For sure. Peace out to you too. I will be safe for sure. I'll do another live stream tomorrow, guys. Going over everything that kind of like a recap. Maybe even get the wifey on here too. Yo, FA in the chat if you want the wife to come on here too. If everybody puts an FA in the chat, she has to come. Got to get everybody in here to drop the FAs in here. And then the wife will come on tomorrow. And we'll do a big old recap. For sure, Sadie. All right, baby, you got to come on tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
The people have spoken.
okay.
For sure. Fat afro. And definitely, everybody, smash those Lizzie like buttons. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I kind of do a little of everything on this channel. If you guys are new here, crypto stuff or, my homesteading stuff. So if you guys are interested in all that stuff, definitely subscribe to this. I don't have links in this one because I'm not at home and I don't have it set up on my phone to do this. So with that being said, you have to go to one of my other videos if you want to join the Discord. Free links there and other videos, and all that good stuff. Love to have every one of you being a part of the community because you guys all rock, dude. I'm just saying, you guys are the best community out there. Just saying, just saying. All right. So, with that being said, thank you everybody for being here. Peace out. Stay savage. May your hash be high and your watts be low. I'll see you on the next one. Hell yeah, Sadie. Happy hashing, everyone. F is in the chat. Oh, yeah.